What's up YouTube? In today's video we're going to be looking at this city restaurant. I found this on Amazon for about 35 bucks. There's roughly about 1,400 pieces, close to 1,500 pieces. Now the only thing, unlike Legos where they separate their pieces, they separated their pieces as well, but half of them are ones and half of them are twos. So this one's going to be a pretty fun build. The directions are pretty straightforward. I'll stop the video throughout just to kind of show you guys the progress and how long it's taken. All right guys, so I went ahead and I organized the pieces so that way it might be easier to see and create. As you can see, they do have a lot of cool bricks that they have. They got the ones that look like stones. So these are just all the varieties that you'll get. So if you are looking for just some parts, you know, some pieces, this was about 35 bucks. So you would get all these pieces for about 35 bucks. You can see they have some of the specialty tile ones. They have a whole bunch of tile ones here too, in a variety of colors. So like I said guys, whether you're using it for parts or just building it, these are what you would get. So let's see if this makes it quicker. All right guys, we're about 12 minutes in and this is where we have gotten so far. Most of it's just like the street sidewalk, so if you're kind of doing your own sidewalk, you can kind of skip that whole thing. It's got a cool little design here. That took a little bit of time. I had to go back and fix some stuff on there. But like I said, we're about 12 minutes in so far. Putting the pieces was helpful. It's been pretty helpful. Finding them, a lot of it pretty easy. So let's go ahead and jump back in. All right guys, we are about 30 minutes in and it looks like I'm getting to where the kitchen is. So you have this little door here. So I'm guessing that this is going to be the kitchen and this is how you go in and out. So like I said, about 30 minutes in. I'm not as far as I had hoped, but we're getting there. All right guys, we're about 45 minutes in. So as you can see, we're starting to get some of the walls up. If you look at these are the walls that have the little, makes it look like a real wall with the little lines in it and stuff. We got some tables over here. We got a plant. Looks like we have a little service desk here with a display case if you want to buy some stuff. You got the little hot dog, the cash register, the little computer for the employees. And then over here we have what's starting the kitchen. We got the little sink, the little stove, and then over here maybe like the serving area for like the waiters, maybe some drinks and like the plates and stuff. Like I said, we're about 45 minutes in. Here's what we got so far. All right guys, here is the first layer. We are all done. As you can see, it has a lot of designs on the outside. Kind of makes it look like a fine dining restaurant from the outside, but it's a different story when you get on the inside. You got an awning, a little fire hydrant, a nice little light. And on the inside, they are serving hot dogs. So not so much fine dining here. So we got some tables. And like I said, overall, it's got nice little texture on the side. This is the first layer, so we're gonna jump in to the second layer because like the first layer, everything is in one big bag. So we're gonna go ahead and organize this and go ahead and get started. All right guys, we're about to start working on the second layer of our Lego. And as you can see, I went ahead and separated the pieces again just to kind of show you guys what kind of pieces are there. You got some fences here, some plates, some windows. You got a lot of different tiles, and then here's some more plates, and then you still have some of those textured bricks. You got 2 sizes, and you got some 3 sizes here, so just a little variety. Like I said, this was about 1,400 pieces, a little bit over. and it was only about 35 bucks on Amazon. So that's the City Restaurant if you're looking it up. And we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. All right, guys, we are a quarter of a way through the top of the build, so I just wanted to stop and give a brief update. You can see it looks like they're starting to get some columns. The front is filled with windows. We have another tile area where this is where you're gonna come up through the top. And then over here, you have a nice little dining room table along with some dining room chairs. Okay, nice fine dining. However, nothing says fine dining like a hot dog. All right, guys, and then you even have some candles. Look at that, candles. I am missing a flame, but we'll see if we can find it later on. Like I said, a quarter of a way through. We'll stop later on and check the progress. All right, guys, so we are done with the second layer of it. As you can see, the front of it has a lot of details with things up going on up here. If you take a look at this side, it's the same thing. And then in the back, you got like a little light. Then you got little rails and stuff here, a little sign, and then inside we already kind of already showed you again. But as you can see, like I said, second layer, lots of details, looking good so far. Then we can just come over here and put it right on top. And then it'll look like this. That's how it looks so far. There's one more layer to go. All right, guys, here is the completed restaurant. I'm not gonna go too much into details because I kind of did that during the video, but as you can see, this was 1,400 pieces. At the top, you got like a little bar going on. You got some cups, some lights. And you got a little balcony where you can sit. You got an umbrella up here. As you can see, lots of good details in this one, and very big. For only 36 bucks on Amazon, I just checked it, and it was 36 bucks. So like I said, if you're looking for extra pieces, or if you're just looking to add a inexpensive build to your town, this would be a great one as well. So like I said, guys, like, subscribe, and share.